Welcome to today's paper reading. Today's paper is titled, Can Large Language Models Unlock Novel Scientific Research Ideas? This paper, published on the AR14 preprint, explores the potential of large language models, LLMs, in generating novel research ideas by Sandeep, Kumar and colleagues from Indian Institute of Technology, Patna and National Center for Computational Sciences, Oak Ridge National Laboratory. This study investigates the ability of large language models, LLMs, to generate novel research ideas by analyzing information from research papers. The research examines 4 LLMs across 5 different domains, including chemistry, computer science, economics, medical, and physics. The findings indicate that Claude 2 and GPT-4 produce future research ideas that are more aligned with the author's perspective compared to GPT-3.5 and Gemini. Additionally, Claude 2 generates a more diverse range of ideas than the other models. The study also includes a human evaluation to assess the novelty, relevance, and feasibility of the generated ideas. This research provides valuable insights into the evolving role of LLMs in idea generation, emphasizing both their capabilities and limitations. The study contributes to the ongoing evaluation and utilization of language models for generating future research ideas, and the datasets and codes used in this research are made publicly available. Figure 1 illustrates how large language models, LLMs, suggest future research ideas after reading a research paper. The study found that Claude 2 and GPT-4 generate future research ideas that are more aligned with the author's perspective compared to GPT-3.5 and Gemini. Additionally, Claude 2 produces more diverse future research ideas than GPT-4, GPT-3.5, and Gemini 1.0. The novelty, relevancy, and feasibility of these generated ideas were also subject to human evaluation, providing insights into the evolving role of LLMs in idea generation. In this introduction, the concept of an idea is defined as a thought or suggestion aimed at solving a problem or considering a possibility. This concept is crucial across various fields. With technological advancements, particularly in large language models, LLMs, new capabilities emerge that influence both the goals and methods of idea generation. LLMs have shown significant progress in natural language processing, prompting research into their reasoning abilities and problem-solving tasks. This paper specifically investigates whether LLMs can read scientific papers and suggest new research ideas. To assess this, the authors create a dataset of recent papers and propose metrics like the Idea Alignment Score to evaluate the quality of generated ideas. The recent advancements in large language models, LLMs, have demonstrated their ability to perform tasks beyond their initial training, such as common sense question answering, code generation, and cross-domain problem solving. These capabilities have enriched their utility across various unforeseen domains, including advanced scientific fields like computer science, physics, and medicine. Additionally, LLMs have been utilized in hypothesis generation, where initial studies construct a corpus of distinct concepts and explore their relationships using machine learning techniques. This includes analyzing vector similarities and applying link prediction methods over concept graphs. Our work, however, focuses on evaluating the inherent ability of LLMs to generate future research ideas and directions, which previous methods may not have sufficiently captured. The dataset creation process involves 3 main steps: dataset collection, future research idea, FRI, identification and removal, and FRI generation using a language model. For dataset collection, the authors selected 100 papers from 5 different domains, ensuring each paper contains full content and a section on future work. In the FRI identification phase, potential research ideas are identified and removed to ensure objectivity in analysis. This process includes defining annotation guidelines and training annotators. Finally, for FRI generation, the authors use language models with specific prompts to generate future research ideas. Additionally, they analyze the word count of future work discussions across different domains, finding that computer science papers tend to have more extensive future research discussions compared to other fields. Figure 2 illustrates the process of editing future research ideas, FRI, from a paper. The figure shows text that has been struck through, indicating its removal. This process distinguishes between direct FRI, where the sentence only contains future research ideas, and mixed FRI, where future research ideas are mixed with other essential information. The removed future ideas are added to a corpus referred to as the APFRI, Author Perspective Future Research Idea Corpus, ensuring no prior access to these ideas by the language models. In this section, we discuss the experimental setup and results. First, we examine data statistics, focusing on the domain-wise distribution of average word counts in academic papers, excluding future work discussions. This highlights the need for evaluators with high domain expertise. Next, we introduce the Idea Alignment Score (IA score), which measures how well generated ideas align with those proposed by the authors. This score is computed using the Idea Matcher model and aggregated across domains. Finally, we present the Idea Distinctness Index, which evaluates the diversity of generated ideas using semantic embeddings and cosine similarity, providing an average distinctness score for model performance assessment. Figure 3 illustrates the domain-wise distribution of the average word count in academic papers, excluding discussions on future work, FWK. This analysis reveals the varying lengths of papers across different fields, providing insights into the typical content and structure of academic writing in each domain. Figure 4 illustrates the average word count of future work text across 6 scholarly domains. Notably, computer science literature shows a significantly higher average word count in discussing future research compared to other disciplines. Conversely, chemistry literature adopts a more concise approach, with a lower average word count. This comparison provides insights into how different fields prioritize discussions on future research directions. Figure 5 presents the IA score for each domain and model, indicating better alignment with the author as the value increases. The IA score is a metric that quantifies how well the generated ideas align with those proposed by the author in academic papers. In the chemistry and economics domains, Claude has the highest IA score, showing strong alignment with the author's future research ideas. Claude and GPT-4 exhibit almost similar values for the computer, medical, and physics domains, with GPT-4 slightly higher. GPT-3 and Gemini have lower scores than both GPT-4 and Claude in every domain. GPT-3 has almost the same score as Gemini in the chemistry and economics domains but scores higher than Gemini in the computer, medical, and physics domains. These results highlight the advancements in language model capabilities, with each model demonstrating domain-specific strengths in idea generation. Figure 6 presents the analysis of the Idea Distinctness Index, DI, which quantifies the diversity of ideas within a corpus. The distinctness between pairs of ideas is measured by the cosine similarity of their embeddings. The overall distinctness of the set of ideas is calculated as the mean of all pairwise distinctness scores. A higher DI value indicates a greater degree of diversity among the ideas, reflecting the model's ability to generate diverse future research ideas. Figure 7 presents the results of human evaluation on the novelty of generated future research ideas in the computer science domain. It highlights that Claude generates 14.78% non-novel and 16.52% generic future research ideas, FRIs, while GPT-4 produces 7.83% non-novel, 13.91% generic, 42.61% moderately novel, 28.7% very novel, and 6.96% extremely novel ideas. The evaluation also shows that 76.67% of the ideas generated by Claude and 93.34% by GPT-4 are relevant. Additionally, 83.34% of Claude's generated ideas and 96.64% of GPT-4's ideas were judged to be practically feasible and factually correct. The alignment results show that Claude has the highest IA score in chemistry and economics, indicating strong alignment with future research ideas. Claude and GPT-4 have similar scores in computer, medical, and physics domains, with GPT-4 slightly higher. GPT-3 and Gemini have lower scores across all domains. The distinctness results indicate that GPT-3 is the least distinct, except in the computer domain, where it is slightly more distinct than Gemini. Claude and GPT-4 generate more distinct ideas than GPT-3 and Gemini. Human evaluation results reveal that Claude and GPT-4 can generate relevant and feasible research ideas. Claude tends to generate more distinct ideas, while GPT-4 produces more novel ideas. The interannotator agreement, measured by Cohen's kappa, was 0.83, confirming the high quality of the annotations. This study marks the first comprehensive evaluation of LLM's potential in generating future research ideas across 5 diverse domains: computer science, economics, chemistry, physics, and medicine. The analysis reveals that LLMs exhibit domain-specific strengths in idea generation, as evidenced by the Idea Distinctness Index, which shows that models like Claude and GPT-4 generate more distinct ideas compared to Gemini and GPT-3.5. Additionally, while human evaluations indicate that LLMs often produce non-novel and generic ideas, they also demonstrate significant potential to generate relevant, novel, and diverse ideas. Moving forward, future research will focus on integrating knowledge from multiple papers to enhance idea novelty and prevent the generation of generic ideas. There are also concerns regarding intellectual property rights and the potential misuse of LLMs to create harmful materials. Therefore, the responsible use of LLMs and broader improvements in their safety are emphasized. The data collection process was constrained by the Semantic Scholar Academic Graph API, which limited the scope of papers extracted. Non-English papers and those with unparsable abstracts were excluded. Only papers containing sections on future work were annotated, resulting in 100 papers per domain for analysis. Regarding memorization, LLMs are known to memorize portions of their training data, which is a significant concern. To mitigate this, the study focused on recent papers from 2023 and 2024, reducing the likelihood of test papers appearing in pre-training corpora. A manual review was conducted to assess memorization, but no evidence was found. This approach aligns with Wang et al., 2023, who also found no evidence of memorization. The ethics statement does not raise specific concerns, and the study followed ethical guidelines. In this study, the authors have employed an open-source dataset and have obtained approval from their Institutional Review Board (IRB). The primary objective is to evaluate the capabilities of language models in generating novel ideas. It is important to note that the authors do not endorse the use of these models to create AI-generated research papers or for any harmful idea generation. Language models have the potential to process and synthesize large volumes of literature more rapidly than humans, thereby identifying new research patterns or gaps that might otherwise go unnoticed. This capability can significantly accelerate scientific discovery. However, the authors acknowledge the risk of these models generating content similar to existing materials, which necessitates careful and responsible use. The paper distinguishes itself from Simon by focusing on evaluating the capability of large language models, LLMs, to generate future research ideas, rather than generating novel scientific ideas. This is achieved through the introduction of the Idea Alignment Score, IA score, and the Idea Distinctness Index, IDI, and by employing human evaluators instead of a classifier. Additionally, the paper provides a full paper as input, unlike Simon, which used the abstract's proposed idea. The paper also expands the experimental scope to 5 different domains, assessing the LLM's inherent ability to generate future work independently, without external aids. Regarding contextual information, the paper discusses the potential benefits and limitations of incorporating extra background knowledge, as explored in an experiment using the Retrieval Augmented Generation (RAG) framework detailed in Appendix E. The findings suggest that while additional context can help prevent non-novel ideas, further research is needed to enhance the generation of more novel ideas. Lastly, the paper introduces a novel annotated dataset, which is a significant contribution to the field. The annotation process involves several key steps. First, annotators read the title and abstract to understand the paper's main points. They then focus on the discussion and conclusion sections, which often contain future research directions. It's crucial to distinguish these explicit future research suggestions from general discussions. For training, 2 PhD students with extensive research experience were hired. An expert annotated 20 papers to guide them, and their proficiency improved to accurately identify 95% of future research ideas. To ensure high-quality annotations, an iterative feedback system was implemented, and an interannotator agreement score of 0.94 was achieved using Cohen's kappa. Annotators were limited to 6 hours of work per day to prevent fatigue and maintain accuracy. The human annotation process involved the preparation of a Google form for each paper, with links provided to the annotators. Instructions were clearly specified at the beginning of each form. Figures 10 and 11 and 12 provide examples of these forms, which were designed to aid in the understanding of the annotation instructions. Additionally, a modified form was used for generating the top 5 future research ideas from the paper content, with future work sections removed to focus on potential new directions. In this study, we examined the effect of providing only a title and abstract to large language models, LLMs, like GPT-4 to see if they could still generate novel ideas. We found that GPT-4 was capable of generating new concepts, such as suggesting the incorporation of explainable AI methods to increase transparency and acceptance by human editors. Additionally, GPT-4 proposed using transformers for tasks typically solved with RNNs, a novel approach that was later refined by suggesting the addition of more contextual information to improve results. However, we also noted that LLMs may not generate many good ideas because they lack access to recently published papers and current methodological findings, relying instead on their pre-existing knowledge. In this section, the authors examined the relationship between the length of ideas and their impact assessment score, IA score. They find that shorter ideas, those under 20 words, generally receive lower IA scores due to insufficient detail. Conversely, ideas that are too long, between 40 and 60 words, also score lower because they can be overly verbose, making it difficult to identify the main points. The highest IA scores are achieved by ideas of moderate length, ranging from 20 to 40 words, which provide adequate detail without overwhelming the reader. The authors designed their framework based on the Retrieval-Augmented Generation (RAG) model to integrate background knowledge into large language models, LLMs, as illustrated in Figure 9. Initially, adding background knowledge affected the LLM's performance, primarily generating ideas that already existed. The authors modified the prompt to instruct the model not to repeat ideas mentioned in the background knowledge. The results show improvements for GPT-4 and Claude in reducing non-novel ideas by 50% and 53.33%, respectively. GPT-4 also generated 9.52% more moderately novel ideas. However, there was only a slight improvement in generating highly novel ideas. Further research is needed to enhance the ability of LLMs to generate more novel ideas. Figure 8 illustrates the effect of varying length on the IA score, a metric used to evaluate system performance. The graph demonstrates how changes in length impact the IA score, highlighting the importance of this parameter in assessing system efficiency and effectiveness. Figure 9 illustrates the Retrieval-Augmented Generation (RAG) framework designed to infuse additional background knowledge into large language models, LLMs. The framework involves collecting titles and abstracts from approximately 1.9 lakh computer science research papers. These are then transformed into vector representations using BERT embeddings and stored in a vector database. The process includes retrieving the 20 most similar papers based on cosine similarity and extracting relevant contributions from their abstracts. This background knowledge is then used to prompt GPT-4 for generating novel research ideas, aiming to reduce the production of generic or non-novel ideas and enhance relevance and factual accuracy. The use of BERT embeddings is motivated by the need to understand the contextual meanings of ideas, as the generated and original ideas often do not use the same words. The BRT score metric, which employs a 24-layer RoBRT large model and utilizes the 17th layer for embedding, is used in its default setting. The threshold for similarity classification is determined using the validation set. If the similarity exceeds this threshold, the pairs of ideas are classified as similar. In this section, the authors discuss the results of a human evaluation conducted with 3 expert annotators, each having over 5 years of experience in the field. These experts reviewed a total of 15 papers. The authors identified 2 major reasons for the low IS score: the presence of generic ideas and the omission of certain ideas by the authors due to page limits, or the pursuit of more novel ideas. For instance, while ideas like exploring different explainability methods such as LLM and SHAP, or advanced NLP models for contradiction detection are generated, they are often too generic. Additionally, some strong, novel research problems, such as the impact of contradictions on review outcomes, are not mentioned in the papers, indicating a potential area for future investigation. In this section, the authors distinguish between 2 types of future research ideas, FRI. The first type, direct FRI, refers to sentences that exclusively mention future research ideas. For instance, a sentence might state plans to extend the current approach to other code-mixed languages. The authors empirically set a threshold of 0.68 for this type of FRI. The second type, mixed FRI, involves sentences that articulate future research ideas alongside other essential information from the paper. An example provided in Figure 2 shows a sentence that not only summarizes current research findings but also outlines future work directions. These examples help clarify the differences between the 2 FRI types and provide practical insights into how they are used in research papers. In this section, the author presents the output generated by the Large Language Model, LLM. These outputs are detailed in 5 tables: Table 1, Table 2, Table 3, Table 4, and Table 5. Each table provides specific examples and insights derived from the LLM's analysis. Additionally, the author references relevant sources to support the findings presented in these tables. Thank you for watching.